Hello everyone, welcome to Bash Mode. Previous video we had discussed about what is DBMS and what is relational database. So in this video we are going to talk about PostgreSQL, and in this video we will cover two topics. One is create a database. We will create a database in PostgreSQL, and also we will create a table inside the database. And Postgres is our database software and also our database engine here, because we are using Postgres. And Postgres is a relational database also. Postgres is one of the example for a relational database. And what is SQL? SQL is structured query language, because we want to communicate with the relational database. In our case here we are using PostgreSQL, so we want to communicate with PostgreSQL to create a database, and also we want to create a table inside the database, so we want to communicate with the database, so we are using SQL here. SQL is a programming language and it's very easy to learn, and SQL allows us to work with relational database with this syntax. Here you can see I have mentioned in a yellow background select and from. Select and from, those two are commands from SQL, and after that I have mentioned a column name and a table name. So this is the syntax. So without any delay, let's get started. So if you are using Windows operating system, you can download the Postgres. You can just open the browser and just type Postgres SQL download. Yes, you can see this link and click the link, and when the interface comes you can see a list of operating systems are there: Linux, Mac OS, Windows. If you are using Linux, you can choose this option, and in this case if you are using Windows, you can click here and you will get an interface like this, and click download the installer, and you will redirect to this page. And here you can see different versions of PostgreSQL, and here you can see Windows 86-bit version, so you can download PostgreSQL from here. And if you are using Linux operating system, we can download it from our terminal, so I will show you that. Yes, this is my Ubuntu terminal. So here I am doing sudo apt update. I'm just updating my server, so it will take a few minutes. Just please wait. After that we want to install the PostgreSQL on this Ubuntu server. So yes, it's completed. So I'm just clearing the screen. So we want to install the PostgreSQL. So sudo apt install PostgreSQL, and here I'm also installing contrib package, because contrib package is include additional utilities and some more functionalities. So here I'm installing PostgreSQL. Just type contrib, it's a package, so just click enter. Yes, it's installing and asking yes, type yes. And installing, please wait a second. Yes, the installation is completed. So next we want to start the service, so we can use the systemctl command line. So sudo systemctl start PostgreSQL service. By using the systemctl command line, we can start the service, and just click the enter. So it's started. So next let's check the status. Instead of start command, we can use here status. Yes, here we can see the Postgres is in running state, so it's active. So here you can see right now I am Ubuntu user. So once we install the Postgres SQL, by default they will give a user with the username Postgres itself. So we want to change the username into Postgres user. So here I'm using sudo -i -u Postgres. Yes, here you can see I have changed my user into Postgres user. So next we want to enter into the database shell. So we are using PSQL command here. Just enter PSQL and click the enter. Yes, here. Now we are in the PostgreSQL shell. Here we want to execute the SQL commands to interact with the database. If you want to create a database, or if you want to do any data uploads or manipulation, we want to execute commands in this shell. So here what I am doing is just enter backslash and L. L means it will list the databases which are inside this database. So just click enter. Here we can see Postgres template 0, template 1. The Postgres is by default, Postgres is giving this databases. So we want to create our own database. For that we are using the command create database. Then we want to mention a database name. Here we can create a school database. Just you can give any name whatever you want. Here I am just giving school and semicolon. Here we want to note that if our command want to execute, we want to put this semicolon at the end, otherwise this command will not execute. So just click enter. Here you can see a prompt is appeared, create database is created. So in this result, here is we can't see any school database. So now let's check the current database list, \l, just enter. Yes, here we can see the database which we are created with the name school. So I'm just clearing the screen. To clear the screen, Control and L. So next we want to create a table inside the school database. For that I'm using a command create table. Then I want to mention a table name. Here I am mentioning class table. Just give a name for our table. Open the bracket. Then we want to mention the column names. If we want to 4 or 5 column in our table, we want to mention the 4 column names. First I am here mentioning a ID column, and after the space we want to mention the data type. In SQL also there have many data types, numeric and string databases, numeric databases. So ID should be integer. So here I am mentioning int. Next my column name should be first name. So I'm mentioning first name. After a space I'm mentioning data type. Here have a data type where I'm mentioning 50 comma, then second name I'm mentioning the data type where 30. Then I want to a column of date of birth. So I'm just mentioning date of birth. Date of birth should be date. So I'm mentioning the data type is date. So here I have mentioned 4 columns. One is ID and first name, second name, then finally date of birth. And we can close the bracket, then semicolon. Just click enter. So here we can see our table is created. So to check that, we can describe our table by backslash then D for describe. Then we want to mention our table name. Here our table name is class, so we want to mention here class. just click enter. So here we can see the column and types. Here our column ID, first name, second name, then date of birth, and corresponding we can see the integer type, character varying, then finally date. So next we want to we can just see our table interface. For that, select star from star represent the all columns. Here we have 4 columns. So if we want to fetch the data from all columns, we want to mention star here. Then from we want to mention our table name, class, then semicolon, enter. See here we can see our table. We don't have a record yet. We aren't updated any record to our table. So here is 0 rows. So here we can see our table with our column names, ID, first name, second name, and date of birth. Next we can enter some data or records into the table. For that I am using a command insert into our table name class, then open the bracket, then I want to mention the column names, ID space first name comma space second name, date of birth, then enter. Then next we want to enter the values. For that, open the bracket, just mention values, then open the bracket. Then we want to insert the data corresponding to these column names. First we have mentioned ID, so here also we want to mention the ID. Here I am just giving 1, then comma, first name, mention it in single note, comma, here I am mentioning James, first name is James, comma, second name is Peter. Then next we want to mention the date of birth. So before date of birth we want to insert the date of birth. So we want to keep a sequence, like first we want to mention the year and month, then day. So here we can just type date space date 1997 slash 02 3, close the bracket, then semicolon. So error, syntax error at near 1997. So forward, we want to mention this as well. Just click enter, sir. So we can see insert one. We have inserted a data. To see that, just we can do something, select star from our table name is class. Yes, we can see the with ID 1, first name James, second name is Peter, then date of birth is here. So we can do some more data, like here we can change ID is equal to 2, the name is what we can give Smith. Here we can Alexander Smith, Alexander. We can say just change the I'm just changing the data here and click the enter. and we can check the table again. So we can see we have inserted two data into our table. So if you have any doubt, please use the comment section. Otherwise, join with me in next video.